Hey there, history buffs and people who accidentally clicked on this. Let's talk about America, the land of opportunity, freedom, and surprisingly persistent mosquitoes. Way back when, mammoths roamed free, probably complaining about the price of mammoth gas. Early inhabitants trekked across the Bering Land Bridge, possibly for better Wi-Fi, who knows. These resourceful folks were the first Americans, even though they didn't have apple pie, baseball, or those little flags to wave at parades. They did, however, invent the spear, which was very handy for, survival and whatnot. These early Americans were all about hunting, gathering, and trying to avoid being eaten by giant sloths. It was a simpler time, with no emails, social media, or reality TV. Just you, a spear, and a healthy dose of fear of being squashed by a giant sloth. Good times. Fast forward a few thousand years and boom! Europeans show up rocking those fancy pants and a serious lack of understanding about personal space. They were looking for spices, gold, and maybe a decent bagel, who knows. What they found was a whole lot of land and a bunch of people who weren't exactly thrilled about sharing. The Europeans, with their fancy hats and questionable hygiene, stumbled upon this new world and immediately started claiming it as their own. It's a bit like showing up to a potluck with an empty Tupperware container and claiming the entire casserole. Thus began the era of colonization, which is a fancy way of saying, we were here first, but okay. The colonists, bless their hearts, tried to make a go of it. They established the 13 colonies, which were basically like the original 13 flavors of weirdness that would eventually become the United States. They farmed, they built, they occasionally had tea parties that didn't involve actual tea, if you catch my drift. Now let's talk about the American Revolution, which was like a really intense breakup, only with more muskets and powdered wigs. The colonists, tired of being treated like the red-headed stepchild of the British Empire, decided they'd had enough. The Declaration of Independence, which is basically a really strongly worded breakup letter to King George III, declared that America was ready to be its own independent nation. It was a bold move, kind of like trying to steal a hot dog from a bald eagle, risky but potentially very rewarding. Of course, no self-respecting revolution is complete without a few epic battles. From Lexington and Concord to Yorktown, the colonists fought tooth and nail for their freedom, all while rocking those stylish tri-corner hats. And you thought you had it rough trying to fold a fitted sheet. Section 4. From Civil War to Civil Rights, a long and winding road to equality. After the Revolution, America was like that friend who just got promoted, a little awkward, figuring things out, and prone to making some questionable decisions. The Civil War, a truly dark chapter in American history, tested the nation's commitment to its own ideals. It was a fight over slavery, states' rights, and whether or not you could rock a truly epic beard. Spoiler alert, Abraham Lincoln proved that yes, you can. The Civil War ended slavery, but the fight for equality was far from over. From Reconstruction to the Civil Rights Movement, Americans continued to strive for a more just and equitable society. It was a long and winding road paved with both setbacks and triumphs. Section 5, Modern Times. From moon landings to memes, we've come a long way, baby. Now let's fast forward to the good stuff, the 20th century. We're talking world wars, a Great Depression that was anything but great, and a whole lot of social and technological change. We landed on the moon. Take that, Neil Armstrong. Invented the internet. You're welcome. And somehow managed to survive the Macarena. Today, America is a melting pot of cultures, ideas, and people who are still trying to figure out how to use the self-checkout lane at the grocery store. We've come a long way, baby, but let's be honest, we still have a lot to learn. But hey, at least we have smartphones, pizza delivery, and the enduring legacy of the founding fathers, who would probably be both impressed and horrified by what we've done with the place.